So Shohei Kondo has released a brand new video, and he's talking about Japan's prime minister and how they had the Japanese Diet recently, and the conversation that they have around Assassin's Creed Shadows is not exactly a great one. All right. They are highly upset over the game. They're mainly upset over the depictions of the shrines. And they're upset in thinking that the game is going to cause some level of increased tourist pollution and perhaps cause issues with people trying to replicate damage to the shrines in real life. Now, I don't necessarily agree with this. I think this is a similar argument to video games cause violence kind of a thing, but I can understand their fear, especially considering if you understand who they are as a people and as a country, and why this would potentially make them scared overall, or make them a little bit hesitant over how the game it represents, certain religious shrines and whatnot. So let's see what Shohei Kondo has to say, and then we're going to go from there. Here we go.
This is really happening. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba is not happy about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let's watch this.
この今言ういわゆる朝栗問題ということについてお伺いしたいんですが。
Did you hear that? He said asakuri issue, meaning we Japanese keep on talking about this all the time. So asakuri issue, he didn't explain about asakuri issue, right? Because everyone knows.
Well, keep in mind too, this flies in the face of the white liberals and the black liberals too, to be fair, on Twitter, telling you that all of the backlash coming from Japan over Assassin's Creed Shadows is not real, that all the backlash in Japan supposedly is not actually Japanese people at all. They're just white people using Google Translator, pretending to be Japanese in order to stir up controversy. That's the lie that they were telling you. That's the story that they were trying to sell when the initial backlash started to really happen bad and the Japanese started to get involved. That's what they were trying to tell you was true. But obviously that's not true, because now it's literally in the Japanese government.
3月20日にですね、発売予定のフランスの UBI ソフトの株式会社制作のゲームソフトのアサシンクリードシャドウズにですね、ついてなんですけど、海外で先行プレイの動画が YouTube でアップされておりまして、それを拝見いたしますと、
That video that went to really viral.
And it's amazing that a video like that went so viral on Twitter that you have government officials talking about it. It's fucking wild.
I was surprised that there's a lot of people who think that's okay. I think most of people doesn't know that's that shrine and the altar, I guess. But a lot of Japanese people feel offended about that video.
板手氷津シュラインと実名で私の兵庫県の姫路市の入間の国奏者板手氷津神社が登場します。ゲームの中でですね、主人公の侍は刀を振り回して拝殿内で太鼓や神教、祭壇を粉砕しまして、そして境内にいる向こうの民や神職とおもしき人物などを切りつけ、弓を射ったりするような乱暴狼藉ができるようになっています。
Yeah, that's the thing. They can just disable, but they made it object that breakable.
私はこの話を聞いてですね、ちょっと地元の神社でもありますので、直接宮司さんにお話を伺いました。当該ゲーム会社からは神社に対しまして、名称の使用許可などの連絡は一切なかったということであります。他にも奈良の東大寺などの寺社や古墳などのいわば具体的な映像とか肖像がですね、無許可で使用されております。
Now, I don't know what the laws are. I don't know what the laws are in terms of using public domain locations necessarily. I don't know if there's like a caveat, if it's like a religious sanctity. Like, I just don't know. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know the laws and to know whether or not Ubisoft did anything right or not, because I have no idea. I have no idea. I just noticed that the guy behind him is laughing. You guys notice that? The Asian guy behind him? Oh, let me go back really quick. He's laughing.
具体的な映像とか肖像がですね、無許可で使用されております。本日はですね、大串正樹経産副大臣にお越しいただいておりますが、国内外問わずゲームを楽しむユーザーというのは 年々増加しておりますが、ゲーム等における固有施設の映像などをですね、無許可で使用することについてご見解をお伺いしたいと思います。
経済産業省大串副大臣。
This is just kind of insider note. I know some people that send me this video. So they didn't use word of Yasuke. Can't
All right, so this is good to know. People are saying it's not public, it's private property. It's like if they went into your house and filmed it without permission. So then my question, I mean, listen, I know Ubisoft is retarded. Don't get me wrong. I know Ubisoft is absolutely retarded. So don't take anything the way I'm, what I'm about to ask you. But then my question is like, Ubisoft as a company that has an insane amount of lawyers. All right, they must have an insane amount of lawyers, and everything supposedly goes through legal before they even move on with something. Why would they not consult legal and ask them if this was even possible before doing it? You know what I mean? I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like Ubisoft should have known if that's the case. And if it's people are saying Japan's different, yeah, maybe, but they're selling the game worldwide. So unless you're selling the game with a copy for Japan that doesn't have those shrines listed, by name, I mean, I don't know. You could say they don't care, maybe, but I mean, you're gonna go against a whole fucking country. You know what I'm saying? I know their consultants suck. Don't get me wrong. I know their consultants suck. They don't even have consultants. They have their consultants specialize in PDF relationship between Buddhas and young boys. I'm not even kidding. That's what they actually specialize in. I highly doubt they specialize in any legal laws within, Japan. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me.
talk about it, that detail, but something really scared concerns me. It's that there's an unspoken rule. You cannot cause other trouble to other ministries. I heard they can't use word of Yasuke in here. If we were Japanese, I think this is one of the biggest concern. And they decided to not to mention about Yasuke. That's what they told me. But my concern is that which ministry get trouble if they use word of Yasuke in here? As a Japanese, that's one of the biggest concern. What's going on, really?
お答えいたします。一般的なゲーム制作におきまして、現存する固有名
I still can't wrap my mind around the idea that Ubisoft has fucked up so bad that they are literally talking about their game in the Japanese government. I mean, it is just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
詞と商用利用する際には、その知的財産を有する個人が
Sorry, I forgot to move the chat. My bad, guys.
と認識をしておりま
I
す。
removed it. My bad.
知的財産を無許諾で利用されているケースにおきましては、個別の事情によるものであるため、当事者間で協議されるものと承知をしております。その上で、神社側等から相談がございましたら、関係省庁と連携しつつ適切に対応してまいりたいというふうに思います。
加田博之君。
ありがとうございます。今の答弁ありましたようにですね、やっぱり無許可で使用するということは、本当にいけないことだと思いますし。
Now, I believe everything that they're saying about using things without permission, because let's be real, Ubisoft has been caught multiple times using things without permission. The first thing that comes to my mind is the Rifle Corps flag from the Sekigahara group in Japan, where they just literally stole the fucking flag from the Sekigahara group and used it without their permission. And their idea of saying sorry was to remove it from the game, but to not remove it from their art book because they already printed the books and they didn't want to reprint it. They've also stolen a whole bunch of other in-game art as well from a multitude of different places. So they've done this before. They have a history of doing it.
本当にこのことについては私もしっかりと注視していきたいと思っております。それでですね、それに伴いまして昨今、コロナ禍の影響も薄れまして、観光客が急回復しまして、各地でオーバーツーリズムによるさまざまな問題が生じております。中に神社の鳥居によじ登ったりですね、神社の石柱へ落書きするなど観光客の迷惑行為は観光公害とも言える事態であります。
That's also something I've been talking about on my channel. We have a lot of foreigners who do that. I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Just because they think Japanese won't fight back, Japanese won't say anything, or they're taking advantage of Japanese politeness or kindness or even shyness. And it's very natural that as a Japanese, if you see that game, we feel like, oh, they can do that because they think Japanese won't say no.
私は当該のゲーム機の中で、NPC、ノンプレイヤーキャラクターっていうものに対して、
You know,
対してとか。
I gotta imagine. Yeah, this is wild. Yeah, you're right, Sweetie Squad. I gotta imagine that a lot of this is being fueled by the recent nonsense that Japan has had to deal with from the West with their tourism. I gotta imagine that a lot of this fed up like nature that they're experiencing and showcasing right now has to be partially from that as well, combined with what Ubisoft is doing, because they have a big tourism issue where a lot of Westerners are going to Japan and just fucking with their country to try to go viral, to try to get clout, to try to do whatever. And they're just fucking fed up. They're probably fed up. So the whole Ubisoft thing was just icing on the cake for something that they would otherwise probably be like, hey, could you change it? And that's basically it. And let it be done. But now, you know, if they're trying to take this and combine it with the idea of potential tourism pollution, that tells me that they're just fed up from everything that's happening with Westerners and people in general who are visiting the country and being highly disrespectful.
ですね、承諾なく使用された施設の映像の中で攻撃や破壊する行為が現実世界で模倣される迷惑行為につながるんではないかと懸念しております。先ほどの神社の宮司さんや関係者の皆様もそれを心配されておりました。もちろんですけど、これ申し上げたいのは表現の自由というものはもちろん尊重されなければいけません。だが一方でですね、長い間
It sucks, man, because I want to visit Japan. I've never visited Japan, and I want to. Obviously, being like a hardcore manga collector that I am, I want to obviously visit Japan. You know, I'm heavily inspired by Japan. I love their culture and the way that they do things, and obviously their art is just incredible, and their storytelling is incredible, and all that stuff. And I want to visit Japan, and I feel like by the time that I do, bro, they're gonna look at me and be like, "Who the fuck is this Spick? Are you Johnny Spicknally? Like, who are you right now? We're gonna kill you on sight." Like, it's like, who the fuck are you, bro? You got more facial hair than every fucking Asian in this block, in this city. Like, you got a beard? We don't do those things here. It's like, I swear to God, I'm like, bro. No, I know it's not that bad. I'm just fucking around. But still, it's like, it's one of those things like, damn, man, stop fucking it up for people who want to, you know, who want to go to Japan and experience it and do the right thing, you know?
に培われた文化に対しまして敬意を持って接する。その土地の文化を軽んじる行為は私は慎むということは大事なことだと考えております。まあ例えばですけど、長年経緯やですね、信仰されてきたフランスのノートルダム大聖堂とかですね、イスラム教のコーランなどにですね、礼を失するようなですね、映像を使われていたら、どんな気持ちにその現地の人たちはなるか。これはもう言わずがもがなでございます。
Right.
本当にこれは私思うんですけども、総理就任後初のお国入りにですね、まず地元の八頭町の渡神社を参拝しました石破総理にお伺いしたいんですけども、ゲーム、SNS 等によりまして多文化を軽んじる行為やそれに伴う観光公害についてご主見をお伺いしたいと思います。
石破内閣総理大臣。
Look at this. We got a comment, Lucas D. I will say though, it is being talked about a lot. I see it on TV a lot here. Interesting. I'm assuming you're in Japan. That's very, very interesting.
これを法的にどうするかということにつきましては、経産省あるいは文科省あるいは外務省とよく協議をしてまいりたいと思っておりますが、神社に落書きするなんぞというのはもってのほかの話であってですね。
Oh, this just happened. That happened.
I didn't even know that.
それはもうその国に
They found graffiti in one of the shrines. Come on, bro. What are we fucking doing, man? I swear to God. Now, there's no guarantee Westerners did it unless they have. Do they have proof of that? Amazing Jingu has been suffering from a slew of graffiti damage to the Torii gates for the past few years. I don't know if they say it was Westerners that did it.
That happened before.
それはもうその国に対する侮辱に他ならないと私は思っておるところでございます。で自衛隊を イラク・サマーワに出しますときに、もちろんイスラム教を信じるとかそういう話ではありませんが、イスラム教のしきたりとか、そういうものは現地に派遣される自衛官たちにきちんと習得していくようにということをお願いをいたしました。例えば料理を全部食べちゃわないといけないって、日本ではみんな食べないと申し訳ないみたいなことがありますが、じゃあ他の国では全部食べちゃうと足りなかったという意思表示になって、なんと失礼だということになるとかですね。それは表層的なものかもしれませんが、少なくともその国の文化とか宗教とか、そういうものに対する尊敬の念を持つということは、私は当然のことだと思っておりますし、そうでなければ外交というのもできないと思っております。
Here you go. He said that without that respect, diplomacy doesn't work. Ubisoft. Listen, this is our prime minister. Not just one unknown grifter is talking. Japanese prime minister is speaking.
のことだと思っておりますし、そうでなければ外交というのもできないと思っております。まず我が国としてそういうことを率先垂範していかねばなりませんし、仮にもそういう行為が、オーバーツーリズムもそうですが、そういうことがあったら泣き寝入りはしないと。日本国民としてこういうことは許さないということも発信をしていくことは極めて重要なことだと考えておるところでございます。
Damn.
原博之君。
This man's
I feel
cooking.
relieved, but please do something.
まさに総理のおっしゃる通りで、有形無形の文化とか風習というものに対してですね、やっぱりこれはお互いがお互い敬意を持ってやらなければ私もいけないと思っております。先ほど
I'm just curious what they're gonna do about it, right? I mean, it's one thing to talk about it. Obviously, it's another thing to potentially do something about it. What can you do? What can you do, right? Ban the game from the country? What could you do aside from that? Go to Ubisoft, try to do it diplomatically, handle that. What's Ubisoft going to do? Ubisoft has already patched the game. It's going to be a day one patch. They have removed the ability to destroy the shrines, which, by the way, I think it's hilarious because if you guys remember, there was a leak with Shohei Kondo. He had an insider at Ubisoft, right? Who knows? Maybe it was Big Dizzle, but he had an insider at Ubisoft that was essentially explaining the way that the coding works, and that when it comes to assets like destructible shrines and whatnot, and how essentially being able to make them destructible or not is basically equivalent to turning a button, like flipping a button on and off. Like you could make it non-destructible really easily, and that the fact that they weren't doing that shows that they really didn't care, or they didn't know that it was offensive. One of the two, right? So now the fact that they're patching it in afterwards as a day one patch tells me that they probably didn't care, or that they probably didn't know. But I feel like they must have known. They must have known for a long time now that this was considered offensive to Japan, and yet they still were going with it anyway. But now they're doing it in the patch. They're basically disabling it, which shows me it wasn't that hard to do it in the first place, you know?
の当該ゲームソフトにおいては、日本の部分の文化というものとか。
Keep in mind, for those of you who are watching right now, because I have most of you here, keep in mind we are going to be streaming Assassin's Creed Shadows on Hypnotic Live tonight after Hypnocast. I got to end Hypnocast pretty soon, and I'm going to raid myself. But tonight we are going to be streaming Assassin's Creed Shadows. So if you want to see what the game is like from my point of view, consider joining us tonight on Hypnotic Live. Mods, if you could drop the link in the chat, that would be great. I'm actually going to make the stream go live right now. Well, not live, but I'm going to make the waiting room go live.
無許可でしかもそういう形で破壊できるようになっている。じゃあ、他国の部分はどうなのかというと、それはできないようになっている。なぜ日本だけなっているのかとかですね。これもやっぱり私問題だと思うんですね。この点についても全てが全てっていうんではなく、なぜ日本だけということについても、私は疑問を持っている一人でございます。そのことについてもまた引き続きですね、なかなか表現の自由と絡めたお話であるかもしれませんが、誤った意味での表現の自由というのは私は許されないと思いますので、ぜひともその点につきましてはまた。
All right, the link just went live, so if anybody subscribed on Hypnotic Live, you will hopefully get the notification for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm also posting it on Twitter.
Do you remember when I said like a butterfly effect, like when I was my video was deleted. And because of that video, a lot of people reacted. Because of a lot of people reacted and like the making the wave, right? I was inspired some couple of videos and I started making a video because I see a lot of comments a lot of Japanese comments that was called racist or
Yep.
liar, or you are not Japanese or kind of stuff. And
sure
I
were.
made that video, the first video of Assassin's Creed. And after I made Assassin's Creed Shadow video in English, a lot of people in the West talking about it. Or Japanese is actually mad. And then everyone's small voices became really big and finally reached to Prime Minister. But it's not finished yet. Let's see what they can do. And I'll do what I can do. You do what you can do. You have a happy day today.
Hey, I'm going to be linking Shohei Kondo's video down below. I'm going to link Shohei Kondo's video down below, man. Shout out to him. Fantastic video breaking this down with the Japanese Diet. Obviously, it's going to take time for us to see what the Japanese are going to do, if they are going to do anything at all. For all we know, they might do literally nothing. But I think at this point, everything is riding on the success of this video game. And I mean massive success. They need this game to knock it out the fucking park. If this game does not knock it out the park, they are going to be in massive trouble. I would probably suffice to say that they are going to announce Ubisoft sale or IP sale a couple of months after Assassin's Creed Shadows and the numbers are revealed and everybody knows what it did, how it stood. I would not be surprised. But no matter what, this game succeeds or fails, Ubisoft is going to die. There's no doubt about it. All right, guys, we're going to catch up on Super Chats, do the waifu battle, and then we're going to raid our other stream. But the link that I just put in the chat right now should be for Shohei Kondo's video. So make sure you guys check that out. I actually have a funny video that I want to showcase that I forgot to showcase earlier. That was being spread online. We don't got a lot of time, man. So that's why I'm like, but I know Sanguine really wants me to show this, so I'll fucking show it, whatever. Here we go. Holy shit.
Shadows, Guerreiros das Sombras.
Guerreiro das chamas, forjado em dor, dragão que renasce em valor. Nas sombras da noite e da escuridão, a águia se faz guardiã. Yasuke Naue, a força da história se faz. O passado legado a trilhar. Go and strike, strike as well. Sempre prontos a recomeçar. Go and strike, strike as well. Pelas sombras enormes.
This is Brazil, by the way. Just keep in mind, this is supposedly Brazil.
Assassin's Creed Shadows, versão brasileira, Ubisoft Brasil.
That is hilarious, man. That is, we're all dumber for watching this. Yeah, seriously. Oh man, shout out to Sanguine for sending that to me. All right,